Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Oh, my goodness. What does it have in store for us today? I have no idea. I'm always at the ready. And I wanted to show you this today. This is an amazing, what was I going to tell you? Oh, this is what I gave a lot of my family members this year for a Christmas, a holiday gift. Let me say holiday because it can be Hanukkah, Christmas, as long as somebody likes red wine. Okay. And I think they also do white wine. I'm not sure, but this is quarantine wines. And it's a blank label, and it was made and designed and developed during the quarantine. So Ashton Kutcher and his lovely wife, they came up with this wine idea, and I came up with the idea to illustrate them. So my mother-in-law likes hummingbirds, and she's also a wine aficionado. So I did this lovely sketch of this hummingbird for her, and I did other designs. I did an angel for my neighbor across the street who was sweet enough to take care of all the shopping because my husband has a heart condition. So we're a very high risk household. We have to isolate really a lot more aggressively than someone who doesn't have such a situation. And so she took care of us. She just took it upon herself. The amazing Lori King across the street, she took it upon herself to take care of us. And I sent her a bottle like this. And you can see here, it just is a white label. And on the bottom, it says quarantine. And then I illustrated them. And I did several. So this is the one I did for my mother-in-law. And my mother-in-law is in her 90s. So she's very high risk as well. And so we were like little elves. We showed up on her doorstep, dropped it off, and disappeared. Because that's what we have to do. We have to protect those we love, and she liked this very much, and Lori loved her angel illustration as well. But this is something again that you know, if you're someone who is trying to be creative in your gift giving and stuff, I thought this was kind of fun. I saw this on my favorite channel, KTLA 5. And Ashton Kutcher and his beautiful wife were sitting there talking about how they developed it. I thought it was brilliant, and I illustrated them for the holidays. Hello, and how are you? Happy Monday. Woo! Oh, boy. All righty, calling you from the COVID epicenter here in California. It's true. It's very true. And oh, well, you know, so 1 in 5 is said to have COVID. And so we have to be super, super careful. Today on the news, they said that you have to assume that you might just get it. So be extra, extra careful. It's like preparing for, you know, and I don't want to equate it to war, but you get all suited up, you know. You're not wearing a hard hat or anything, but you definitely are masking up and making sure that you are careful. You pick times when there's not a lot of people and things like that. Did you enter the lottery? Well, nobody won. So, well, I mean, not nobody won, but nobody won the big, big jackpot. So it's rolling over into Tuesday and into Wednesday, is it? I don't know enough about it. I should play it. I'd like to play it more, but I don't think about it. And also it means going out, right? But anyway, so yeah, get your tickets, guys, and you deserve it. So, and so do I. So, hey, wouldn't that be fun? So, okay, I did win some money. I think I won about $10, and that was kind of nice. Kind of pays for my tickets. Reimbursed, just roll it over. Kind of like if you're betting in any other situation, if you take your winnings and you just play with your winnings until your winnings are either gone or multiplied, right? So that's the cool thing about that. And woohoo, yeah, woohoo, yeah. Okay, so before I forget, I want to talk about who bought the HitchHiking Ghosts I'm going to just take a moment here. I should have had this ready to go. Actually, while I get that ready to go on the ghosts, let me just show you camera 2. Let's put a light on the subject. Let's come over here. Let's zoom in a little bit. There we go. All right. I hope you can see this while I get this ready. But this is the Country Bears. Those of you who are with Disney Plus probably do know. Maybe you don't. Just getting back in my chair. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. There you go. Probably know that Dinosaurs, the TV show, is, and I'm showing you Country Bears. So why am I talking about dinosaurs and showing you Country Bears? Country Bears is on Disney Plus, and if you haven't seen it, here's a couple of behind the scenes photos I thought you guys might like. If I bring it in a little bit better, you can see here's the bus, and here's people standing around. Kind of, that's the crew getting everybody ready as they're going to be exiting the bus. Here is everybody. This is the way that the bear performers walked around to get rest. They're in their suits, but they had these wonderful capes to protect them. And what you're looking at right here is the house that Elton John was acting as the gardener here. And then here is the car wash. So I thought that that would be something kind of fun for you to look at, but I didn't mean to talk about out of context, talk about dinosaurs without without showing you a picture of Dinosaurs, the TV show. And I will, I promise, get that, find that, and show you that in a minute here. So, so there's that. But what I was actually going to show you is my discussion about the HitchHiking ghosts. So those of you who have pre-purchased the HitchHiking ghosts, you know, I hope that tomorrow I am having a conversation with you via Zoom. Very important. Okay. I really need you to be on either the AM call at 9 or the PM call at 5. Now, some of you have written me, you're working, you can't make it. You know, it's too challenging for you. I get that, but I need as many of you as possible on there if you can all make it. Don't get too upset if you can't. It just means that I need some decisions made with you, and I want to do it with you. I don't want to make all of these decisions myself. I've been trying it, and basically, full disclosure, my HitchHiking ghosts have derailed, and I need to get them back on track. And I actually figured that out with Terry's Tribe today, how to say that. I've been derailed and I need to get back on track. I have a presentation to show you guys tomorrow, and then you guys can help me decide what we do next, okay? And that's the best way I can tell you. It's too much to put in an email. You'd be reading a novel, and then you wouldn't understand it because my brain is going a mile a minute and has been ever since this happened to me. It started in November when my manufacturing team got COVID-19, and they were out for a month. And then many of you may or may not know that we had to push the deadline from December when we were going to release them to hopefully January, February. So we're going to talk more about that on the call, but I've also got a laundry list of things to talk to you. I'm going to try my best to keep it to an hour from 5 to 6. Those of you who come in at 5:30, if you want to have a recap or you don't understand, we're going to allow you to ask questions. I'll go as long as you need with your questions. But please, if you've not gotten that Zoom call email, hit me up and I will make a note of it and get it to you. Okay? Because I'd love to have your voice on the call if possible. And if not, afterwards, I'm hoping to do a recorded video to show you what I'm talking about. And then you can just watch the video and email me as well. But it's not going to be as nice as having your voice. So that's the ghost bit that I wanted to talk to you about. That's so, so, so important. I wanted to come right out of the gate with that. Okay. because it's seriously vital. And then, as I said, Dinosaurs is coming to town on Disney Plus. Yay! So I meant to do that switching when I was here. Monday. But anyway, Dinosaurs is coming to Disney Plus, and just give me a second. I'm just looking for pictures for you because I thought many of you like the pictures. So I thought, let me put some pictures in here. Still a little clunky. Yeah, it's me. You know, what can you do? You do the best you can. And then hopefully with practice, you get better and better and better. And I hope I have, guys. I hope it's not as clunky as it was the first day. But anyway, here we go. So anyway, Dinosaurs, the TV show, is coming to Disney Plus at the end of the month. And for those of you who have been with me a while, and even those of you who haven't, we did a beautiful reunion show with the Beretta Brothers. Now, the Beretta Brothers are Bill Beretta and his brother Gene. And Bill played Earl Sinclair. So in this picture here, you can see in the plaid outfit in the corner above Terri Hardin Live, that's Bill. And he's taking a break because he's the suit performer of Earl, and he's of Earl Sinclair, and he's talking to me about the next scene. And you can see my arms are in baby Sinclair. So my point is this. Dinosaurs is coming at the end of the month, and the Beretta Brothers have been asked to create a countdown to the show. Now, what does that mean? Well, last Sunday, I think it was yesterday, they interviewed modules of people who are doing various characters. So what is my point? This Sunday, and I believe it's Sunday, not Saturday, I will definitely post it like for real as soon as I know time and everything. But it's Beretta Brothers, and they have a YouTube channel called The Beretta Brothers. So you can always find them, theberettabrothers.com. I'm sure they have a list or something on there for you. But Baby is going to be on this coming weekend, the 17th, I believe. So what's that date? If I use the date, I think I remember he said it was the 17th. 17th is Sunday. So yeah, Sunday the 17th. We're going to have Baby, and I think it might be Earl, Baby, and one other character. I can't, not off the top of my head. The point is I'll let you know. Why am I saying this? The Beretta Brothers are going to host it. I'm going to be on there, as well as John Kennedy. I would imagine Kevin Clash is going to be on there, and other people, all of us who performed on Dinosaurs, the TV show, talking about some fun and interesting antics that we did, I would imagine. Okay. I don't know. Bill says, they are time constraints, so it's not going to be a lot of long conversation, but it's just a lot of like, woohoo, Dinosaurs is coming, and what did we do on the show? And you know that if you watch the Beretta Brothers and you have more questions about Baby, because I'm part of Team Baby, you can easily ask me. Okay. So there I am as Baby's arms. I'm not Baby Sinclair lead. That's Kevin Clash. And then Baby Sinclair's eyes and brows is John Kennedy. So we make the team of 3 baby performers. And also Julianne did the last season when I went on to the Flintstones to shoot the Flintstones. So you're going to have different discussions and talks and stuff like that. Okay. So wanted to tell you about this because Dinosaurs is finally coming, and it's not, I wanted to say, it's not like what happened to me when I first saw Lost in Space after seeing it as a kid. I loved Lost in Space as a kid. I watched it every time it was on. And then I tried to watch it as an adult, and whoa, what was I thinking? It was really, it didn't have the same, impact. So, and so this is different. If you saw Dinosaurs as a kid, it had some of the most impressive writers on it, top writers in the business. And the show holds up is what I'm trying to say. And I'm more than happy to do my own countdown, not only celebrate the Beretta Brothers, but also do my own countdown and show you some things that I still have from dinosaurs, including the scripts that Kurt Thatcher illustrated. Every single script he illustrated, did a nice, beautiful drawing, and I still have the set. And if you want to see those, I'm more than happy to share those with you as we take the walk down Dinosaur Lane. I will probably do that discussion once Dinosaurs drops on Disney Plus. But I thought I wanted to share that with you. That's kind of a woohoo thing. It's a nice little bonus. And like I said, the Country Bears is also on there. I worked on that. And I'm hoping, I don't know how possible it is, but it is a Disney product, and that is Captain EO. So I would also love to see Captain EO. But that doesn't mean that if you don't want to, if you want to discuss Michael Jackson and Captain EO with me, the Ask Me Anythings on Friday is a good time to do that, right? Yeah. Okay. So there you go. There's the dinosaur announcement. And I did the ghosts. And now, as I mentioned before, and if you're just joining us, welcome. But I got Disney Plus for Christmas, and I watched Hamilton last night. Wow. Now, originally, let me tell you something. Before the pandemic, a friend of mine had invited me to go see Hamilton in New York City. And I was all geared up and excited to go when the pandemic hit and couldn't do that. So being able to see it on Disney Plus was a real treat. I was fascinated by it. I was glued, I was pretty riveted to it. And the nice thing about it is I can watch it again. My husband and I both said that there's so much to see and to take in. It's going to be lovely just to play it again and watch it and keep watching it. That's one of the joys of having it on Disney Plus. The actors are all fabulous. And there were some things I really loved. I loved the ensemble and how the costumes were on the ensemble, kind of that body tight, looked like the undergarment without the coats and the jackets. The costumes were sensational, and being a costumer myself, I noticed stuff like that. It was beautiful. The singing was amazing. The women were fantastic. Honestly, I didn't have a negative thing to say about it. I was just really, really impressed with it. I had an idea of what it was going to be, but it was a lot more. It was a lot more. And I thought the people who photographed it, whoever did the camera work on it, did a great job of helping me feel like I was a part of it. And I liked it. I liked it very, very much. So it was really, really fun. If you saw it and you liked it, what certain section did you like? I think what we liked, and the reason we want to see it again, is because there's a lot of dialogue, and the dialogue repeats itself. Thank God, we both said, because sometimes it got a little mumbly. So we didn't actually understand, and then they would repeat it and we'd go, oh, that's what they said. So I don't know if in the theater it was different. Those of you who have seen it, I'm sure you could tell me. But I really, really enjoyed it. I actually absolutely loved it. And then I did something yesterday. Yesterday was my family day. So Saturday I did some filming and some photographing, because I've done my own art piece and I'm getting ready to enter it in a contest. Not ready to show it to you yet. But I wanted to get photographs of it because I have to submit it to this contest I'm very excited about. And then also I took pictures of some other things that I needed to have ready for tomorrow's ghost presentation. And then I also, I did that on Saturday. And then Sunday, which is our family day, we visited with the family on Zoom, which my husband just does not like that platform at all. So we did our best to say hi to everybody, and we were kind of quiet on the call. But it was fun to visit with family. Lindsay's mom wants to see him. So it's Lindsay's side of the family, my husband's side of the family. And so that's how that all happened. And it was nice to see them. I'm not going to say it wasn't. But our family day, we kind of curl up with my little dog Rocket, and we get comfy. So we get And so we decided to watch some films. One of the films, okay, so screeners usually arrive. I've told you before, I'm with the Screen Actors Guild and I vote for the Screen Actors Guild Awards, and my husband, the Academy Awards. So we get screeners usually. This year, the screeners seem slow in coming. That's a DVD in the mail that we can pop in and watch. But there are virtual Q&As, and they're not really Q&As. It's more like you look in on a Zoom Q&A. There's a commentator that then talks to the actors, asking them the Q while they do the A. And usually what happens when you're live is you get to step up to a microphone and ask the questions yourself. But that doesn't seem to be happening in these virtual events that the Screen Actors Guild is holding. That being said, some of them are interesting. Some of them are kind of eh. The good news is you get to watch the movie prior. They give you a link or they tell you it's going to be on Netflix. And wow, Netflix has really been producing the content, haven't they? Boy, if I could do half of what they did, I'd be a much better YouTube/Facebook person, which is a goal this year. Big goal this year. But one of the movies that I had to screen to evaluation, and if you haven't seen it, I think you should, The Trial of the Chicago 7. And it's amazing how it sort of pertains because of last Wednesday and then the Black Lives Matter protests, et cetera, et cetera. It's an amazing movie. And I just have to say, and I was going to put in my title today, talking about Sacha Baron Cohen. Is that how you say his last name? Sacha. I watched on Saturday night a question and answer on the Trial of Chicago 7 with some of the actors, and he was there. Now, the interesting thing about him is that I really don't look into people's personalities and stuff. I'm really working hard here, and I don't necessarily have a lot of time for that. It doesn't mean I don't enjoy it, but I didn't have time. And Borat is what I know him for, and I'm not a fan of the movies. I just don't like the Borats. It's not like my husband says, I'm not the demographic. It's not something that entertains me. But that doesn't matter. He produces them, he writes them, he creates them, he does them. That is, and you can't please everybody. So he's not writing them to please me. He's got tons of people that love them. And in his second film, which we had to watch also, I really, really loved. He works with a co-star, and she plays the daughter, and she's excellent. They're both good, but she really is excellent. That mixture of innocence and sweetness that she brings to it really made it watchable for me. And when in a time when I couldn't really watch it. There's many sequences that are hard for me to watch, but I watch it because it's my job, right? If you're going to vote on something, you can't say no to it. If you don't see it, that's not right. That's rude. So, but the point I was trying to make in the Chicago 7 is Sacha is an amazing actor. And one of the things that struck me about him is he's so humble. He really doesn't think of himself as at least it appeared on this Q&A that we got to look in on, this Zoom conference where they were being interviewed for Chicago 7. He really was someone who didn't think he was that, someone who would be that good. His confidence is really different from, maybe, I got the impression, and, if Sacha should see this for any reason, if I'm misinterpreting it, okay. But honestly, I think you're an amazing actor. Not the silly Borat stuff. I think you really are amazing as a really fine actor. In the 7, you did not disappoint. In the 7, I loved what you did with this character and how you made this character come to life. I loved the picture that you painted with your character. I was very impressed in that. As I was in Sweeney Todd with your character, I mean, you can't win them all, Sacha. There's a couple that I didn't like, but really, I've realized that I like following you as an actor. I may not like Borat, but there's definitely movies that you are involved in that I like seeing you do what you do. And I think you are easily uh, just as strong as some of your co-stars. I remember on Saturday, you were saying, wow, all this talent that I'm around, and you were a little bit intimidated. And honestly, like, why me? You said at one point. And I have to say that I thought you really brought it, and I thought you were just as excellent as everybody else. In fact, that whole ensemble is extremely strong and amazing. And if you haven't seen The Trial of Chicago 7, please watch it. I think it is a Netflix, so it's available for everybody to see. And please go see it. It's really, really good. In fact, I watched it twice, and I really, really, there are some scenes that are very hard to stomach. And Frank Langella plays the judge, and the judge is really wacky, and it's based on a true story. Okay, so it's not fiction, it's fact. Well, I mean, it's a movie about facts. Okay, it's not a documentary about facts, it's a movie about facts, and it's really good. So I wanted to just bring that up and just say, hey, because I gotta tell you, it really blew me away. I really, really loved it. I was very impressed with it. Yeah. And then after watching something like that on Saturday, Sunday, Family Day, I wanted to revisit animation and live action a la Disney. And my favorite, the one I think really nails it, is Cinderella. Kenneth Branagh's Cinderella, which is the live action, and the animated version. And it's interesting because they talked about on this talk with everyone on the 7 that a lot of people call it after the director. They call it, the director's Martin Scorsese's blank, Kenneth Branagh's blank. And it really isn't the director, is it? It's everybody involved, from the grips and the gaffers to the actors to the costumers to the set designers. It's all that team and how well that team works together. So I thought that was a really good point. And as I've mentioned before, I'm not a fan of the live actions with Disney. But I think if Disney goes back, I mean, rather than be part of the problem and complain all the time, I think if Disney sat down and they rewatched Cinderella, the animated version, and then they sat down and they watched the live action version, they can see what works. They were able to take the sweetness of the original and create the sweetness in the live action, and they're two different films. And they're so fun to watch together that it's my favorite. I love the live action and I love the animated. And I think together they work. And it was I hadn't seen the original Cinderella in a while, and it was such a pleasure to revisit that and then go watch the new one. From the songs, everything had great care and detail and thought. Now, my husband really wasn't fond of Helen Bonham Carter as the fairy godmother. He thought she was a little scary, but I actually liked her. I thought that quirky, kind of odd, strange little character was fun as the fairy godmother. So for me, I actually liked her, but my husband was like, no, I don't think the casting was good. But I liked her. I thought she did a great job. So, you're not always going to agree on everything still, even in your own household. So my husband and I were like, well, I thought she was pretty good. I didn't really like her. There you go. But there were definitely details in both. So, for example, you watch the animated version and Cinderella is crying in the garden and these little twinkles happen, and then the fairy godmother appears, and then the dress happens. And when she walks, wherever she walks, there's this sort of magic twinkle in the animation, as though she seems to have little fireflies around her or something. Well, then you go to the live action, and Team Branagh, let's call it that, Team Kenneth Branagh, they made sure the dress sparkled. Made that shimmery, sparkly feeling in live action. You still had that magical sort of euphoric look that really was the feeling of the original, but new. So if you're going to do live actions, Disney, I would, before your team starts to write, design, create, go back to those two, because those really, really work. And you won't have as many missteps, you know. And then I was also kind of hoping that the Lion King play was on Disney Plus, but it's not, because I saw Hamilton and I loved Hamilton, and I was kind of hoping that maybe the Lion King play would soon appear there. So Disney, if you're watching, I'd love to see the Lion King play. That's actually my favorite rendition of the Lion King, is the play. But then it's got puppets in it, so duh. I want to recreate some of those puppets because they really are beautiful. But the problem is, if I recreate the puppets, then where are you going to store the thing? Those of us who don't have a lot of real estate, what are we going to do, right? But I love the presentation. I love it. And Disney Plus has some great documentaries. I'm just hungry. I spend a lot of time swimming in the documentary area of Disney Plus. I just love. There's a show called Becoming, and I watched the young man from Stranger Things, and watching him go from a little child who loves to perform to being in the Lion King, and then being in Stranger. Oh, it's just lovely. If you haven't seen Becoming, it's got some great stories of some interesting, amazing people, and the challenges they had and what made them keep going forward. And I think I'm probably going to do the same thing. I think that in my Ask Me Anything, I'll do a similar thing as Becoming, because I was in a similar situation. And how did I become? It's something to think about when I'm talking to you guys. It's interesting to say, what was it that was a turning point for me? One of the big ones was Star Wars. I've mentioned that before. And, and stuff like that. So, wow, just overall a fun family day where we curled up. I made a lovely breakfast brunch and then a nice lunch. And we just curled up and watched movies. And it was really, really fun. Sunday, it's really important to take 1 day and 7 to rest. There's a reason God said 1 day and 7 to rest, right? That's because your whole week, 1 through 6, can be a hit the ground running, don't look up, head down, butt up, work, get stuff done. Especially in the first of the year, you start to plan. I do. And I have a really crump trust set I want to do. I have to get the ghosts back on track. I've got sales tax to deal with. I also have my regular taxes to deal with. And then there's other things I want to do. I wanted to do my own sculpture. I got paints for Christmas. I'd like to get delving into that. I want to do more content for those of you on YouTube. I want to optimize that. How do I do that? I don't know social media like many of you young ones who grew up with this. I did not grow up with this. I was, hi, how you doing? That's how I meet and talk to people. And now during COVID, I've had to relearn a lot of things, as many of us have. I'm not just saying it's all about, me, but there's things that I want to do. So when Sunday comes, take a minute, look at the beautiful weather. I live in California, so we have some killer weather right now. It's about to go into the 80s, if you can believe it. Now, we need the rain, and we're praying for the rain, but we're not sorry that we've got the 80s, because the nice thing about that, especially if you are at the epicenter of the pandemic like we are, it means that we can meet other people carefully outside. We're not trapped inside because it's so many degrees below, as many of you are. So we're hoping that this warmer weather will help us to perhaps get this pandemic going on a downward trend. We are going up, and it's getting scarier every day. So we're just hoping for a shift. Yeah, we need a shift because it's scary over here. Yeah. So anyway, warm weather coming, which is why I'm getting all cozy right now, because this could be the last time I'm cozy before the warm weather. And then the next thing you know, I'm going to look like I'm walking around in June. So, that's kind of what that's happening there. I want to make sure that I talk to you about everything. I think that was pretty much. Oh, I had a question to put to you. Most of you on Facebook, YouTubers, I see that that is the go-to spot to be, and I want to get better at that. I think within the last year, figured out how to upload to YouTube. So if you, please go and subscribe over there and share, because one thing, it'll help me. It'll help get me, I'm excited to do more content for you guys. And I'm actually learning what can be better with YouTube. How can I give you better content? How can I make things not just live, but post fun recordings, and what kind of a themed, I'm trying to think, do I want a theme? Do I want to teach? Do I want to let you peek into my life? In fact, on Saturday, we did some trial camera things where I recorded myself sculpting. And the challenge is, honestly, I'm going to post some of these things. I want to put these up on YouTube for those of you who would be interested in just taking a peek in my process. So I'm going to be doing the Rolly Crumb chess set, and I'd like to post the process of it. But the situation is that I'm challenged with this camera here because its focus, it's an older camera. We put this system together that you see as we jump between it. I'll use my Oswald pin as an example for here. But you can see here that it's a little bit fuzzy. So the camera has trouble focusing. So I'm trying, because I do things so small, I have to have a better camera here, or come up with a better idea if you're going to be looking at my art. So for example, let me just pull in this little face right here, which is something I did in like a minute or two. Not bragging, just saying. Okay, so you can see right here how small it is, but you see how fuzzy it is. And as I take it up, there is an area of focus kind of like there. But if I move in any way, the camera has trouble following me. So I have to work on, we're working on seeing if we can do this better. So when I'm taking tools and showing you how I create stuff like this with my tools and stuff, you can actually see what I'm doing, because it really would be better if it was about that close. And look how the camera just cannot grab it. So it has to be more like this. And with something so small, this is like a 1/2-inch square, it's going to be hard for you to watch me sculpt it as I sculpt it. You see how when I do, like, I work on it here and here, that it's kind of challenging. So these are some of the things I practiced on Saturday to kind of work on so that I can create better content in the future. So please subscribe and comment and tell me what you would like to see, or which way you think the channel should go. We're still going to do our AMAs. Ask Me Anything seem to be quite popular. I am cutting them down though, and I don't know whether it would be better. Those of you who are really good at YouTube, maybe you could tell me, is it better to put the shorter AMAs in a playlist that you can click on? For example, like my Foster Farms chicken commercials. Those of you who are on the West Coast know about the Foster Farms chicken commercials, but those of you who are on the East Coast know you never got to see them because they were only West Coast, right? Well, if you go to my YouTube channel, there is a playlist that is all the commercials, Foster and Poster commercials. So you can actually watch the commercials on my YouTube channel, because I gathered them all up on a playlist. So you can just run them one right after another if you'd like. So I figured out how to do that, not alone. I had people like you to help me. But those Foster Farms, and I'm just trying to find if I've got a picture so that I can, because I am learning that visual aids work, right? So basically, the Foster Farms chickens are very, very, very popular, and I did over 40 commercials with them. Yeah. And they are really funny. They are quite lovely, very entertaining. I'm sitting here looking, and Honestly, I'm having a challenge trying to find them as I'm looking here. I don't see my crazy birds. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Do, do. So anyway, here is a picture of my Foster Farms chickens. This is Drew and I. Drew Massey and I. Drew is the driver chicken and I play the passenger chicken. I designed these two characters for the company originally, and the concept design is mine. They came up with a really rough concept design, and then I did this and they for the company called the Character Shop with Rick Lazzarini, and the clients who are out of San Francisco, and Livingston, California, actually, Foster Farms, bought off on them and loved them. And they have been sensational since 1993. People love them. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, please go to my YouTube channel and, like the video or watch those as much as you want. They're really fun. They're really super, and they're really good. They're really, really, really good. But so that's what I'm thinking is maybe when I shorten my AMAs, which can be, as you know, well, maybe you don't know, they can be 3 hours long as I answer questions. And there's a lot of tangents I go off on and stuff. That's what happens when it's live. My brain works that way under normal circumstances, so no apologies. But I'm going to hone down them so that, for example, what was it like to work with Michael Jackson? And that would be answer, question, answer, done. So should that be a playlist or should that be an entirely new channel? Is what I'm trying to figure out. If I wanted to teach, should that be a playlist or should that be an entirely new channel? Those of you who are the pros on YouTube, I'd love to hear what you have to say. I'd love to hear your input if you want to share. I'm also asking, mentors that I found on YouTube, because you really can find anything on YouTube, can't you? But I want to make that a better channel. And then I mentioned before that I had a question, and I do. I'm noticing that a lot of my friends who have been going live on Facebook are talking about leaving Facebook. Can you tell me why? I'm not quite sure why people are leaving Facebook. Is it a privacy thing that's been violated? Is it a stand on something? I'm oblivious, okay? I'm an artist. I spend my time under hot lights sculpting as much as possible. And I got a lot of work to do, really. But pardon me. There we go. Just give me a moment. Okay, isn't that smarter? Yeah. Always wash your hands. Over and over and over again. But anyway, I've had 2 or 3 really talented friends who do really nice Facebooks and Facebook Lives say that they are no longer going to be on Facebook, that they are moving away from this platform. So if you have an idea of why that is, I would love to hear your input on that. Because contrary to popular belief, I don't know everything. And in this venue, I am dog paddling. Seriously, kicking to stay afloat. Because although I talk well, I'm still learning the various, content is a big one. So I thank my husband, because my husband is taking all the content. So about a couple years ago, I had a YouTube channel, but nothing happened with it because I couldn't figure out how to upload. So my YouTube channel is probably, I don't know, you guys would probably be able to tell, but I think it's about 4 years old. But it was only last year that I figured out how to upload to YouTube. I could not figure it out. I'm 63, cut me a break. But but I couldn't figure it out. And so my husband said at the time, and I was getting really frustrated, and my husband said, just because you cannot upload to YouTube, and I think I may have mentioned this if you're joining us again, but if it's your first time, my husband said, just because you can't upload to YouTube doesn't mean you can't create content. So I started to create content. I started to work at filming myself doing stuff, filming myself speaking all over the world, recording myself at my table here, and last year, the goal was to make my studio that you're looking at now, optimize it so that I could cut to a certain area like I did with my little face and cut to another area and cut to another area so that you could see the stuff. So this year, we're going to do that as far as pre-recorded content creation so that I can start creating a teaching channel, teaching you how to I have a whimsical way of sketching. If you've always wanted to draw, but your paper, you keep erasing your paper and it keeps tearing. And no matter what drawing program or drawing thing you do, you just don't feel like you can do it. I have a way that you can. Okay. And you're going to really feel confident. Seriously. That's not a pompous statement. It's the truth. Okay. So I want to get that up so people can see it. Also, I teach pumpkin sculpting. Actually on my Patreon page, that's up there now, but I need to do more teaching on Patreon and I need to do more things on YouTube and kind of get that solidified so that it has substance to it. Right now, the substance on the YouTube channel, I'm sure you agree, is that I go live every Monday and every Friday. Yeah, but what next? Just sitting and listening to me talk about what I did on the weekend. I know you like it. So many of you have said you like it, and thank you. And my stories, thank you. And discussions and stuff, I really appreciate that, but I want to do more. I've watched, not because I want a gazillion followers, but because I want to do the best I can on the platforms. I don't want to sort of always be kind of. It's just my nature to try and perfect it and to learn. It's new. So I want to learn it to the best of my ability so I can provide the best content for you guys to watch, the best in my genre. Now, the other thing for me is that I've noticed some people who have amazing channels tend to feel like they're jumping through hoops like a circus dog, and they're starting to do silly performances, or they're doing things that aren't really authentic to them, and they're frustrated. And that's not going to be me, because I basically have to work with letting you see my life so I can continue doing what I love, but have you like you're in my studio watching. A lot like Hamilton. Hamilton is a play and they're on the stage, and we got to, on Disney Plus, watch it like we're peeking in. That's the kind of thing that I want to have happen, where I can do my work, but you can see what I'm doing. And then later ask questions if you want to, whether that's live and then some cases pre-recorded or both. Those are the kind of situations that I am going through, trying to, working to do this in a venue I know nothing about. Thank goodness you can learn just about anything on YouTube, can't you? It's just amazing. Yesterday during Family Day, my husband found a young man who spoke about the Cascadias. And if you don't know what those are, go on YouTube and put it into the search and you'll find him. And it talks about these Cascadias that are on the brink of changing the West Coast as we know it. So my husband has been all about the Cascadias, and I've been like, is it really going to happen? It's a very interesting thing. But my point is, on YouTube, you type in Cascadias, you see Cascadias. It's like, what? Wow. That's what I'm talking about. You can type in just about anything and find it on YouTube in one capacity or another. And thank goodness for that. And I watch a lot of artists and how they work their channels to kind of better understand the processes that are involved. What do I like? What don't I like? Things like that. So bear with me as you join, share. These long ones I know are long, but I am taking care of the people who really right now during this pandemic are asking for my upbeat, positive energy to help y'all be upbeat and positive. Like the little gopher in Caddyshack. This is the idea, is to keep us upbeat and happy as we hold hands through these videos and let you know it's going to be all right. Don't get yourself going down the rabbit hole into darkness. We are going to come out of this. We're strong human beings. And although we've seen a lot of people who are pretty stupid, don't let that get you down if you can. Take that one day in 7, be with your family, you know, especially if you're someone like me who is constantly, my husband and I, we work like crazy those 6 days. We are all about getting stuff done. And what's funny about that is there's plenty. There's plenty to do, you know, not only in your work area, but your home. So my shop here, it's the first time it's been clean in 10 years, where my art table, my drawing table, is available for, surprise, drawing and painting. It was a catch-all. It had things stacked to the moon, like some sort of building. I mean, it was a table full of stuff. And now it's a table that in 10 years I can actually tilt. Now, right now I can't because it's got a couple of items on it that I was working on a sculpture, and my sculpture was really big. So this is my sculpture table area. And most of the time I work small, but this piece that I'm working on now is about 18 inches tall, and I really love it. And it's very unusual. It's a minimal sculpture. It's a sculpture where I try to represent the subject in the least amount of strokes, if you will. Okay. So I know it's kind of a weird thing, and maybe some of you don't understand what I'm saying, but I am a detail fanatic. My detail is detail on detail on detail. I'm a nut when it comes to that. You saw the ghosts, right? Did I show you? You saw the ghosts. So there's detail. I'm a crazy detail freak, and it gets more and more and more and more. Okay. I also work really hard when I'm doing the detail to create a soul in the character, as opposed to just creating the character. So I don't want something frozen in time without you feeling a love for it. Okay. I want it to grab at your heartstrings, therefore reaching out to you emotionally. If I'm doing it, if I'm going to produce it, otherwise, why do it? Right. So that being said, I have this really tall piece. It's got to be, well, I can't even show you in this frame, but I flattened my art table and I sculpted it over there. So it's not over there now because I'm not ready to show it. But I'm going to start. It was my first attempt. I have not done minimal before. And one of the things I think I have talked to you before about is I think I talked about this before, but I'll talk about it now. If we use, and I work all sizes, okay, all different sizes. So let me show you a Mr. Toad. I work in wax. This is Mr. Toad. I did a thing called the Jewels of the Park for Disney. They were actually offered at Disney company. This is one. This is the Mr. Toad's ride vehicle. It is only 4 inches long and 3.5 inches tall and about 4 inches wide. They are completely sold out. They were issued in 1998. They are, but you look at these, you can see the detail. They're tiny, guys. They're tiny, and I don't have one to show you because why? I sold them. Yeah, I sold them all. And here is Dumbo. So I was asked by Disney to do ride vehicles when I was sculpting for the parks. And these are the ride vehicles I got to choose. This one is actually turned out of maple and then hand painted. So this is kind of what I'm talking about. I'm just crazy detail oriented. And these were my introduction into being a collectible sculptor at Disneyland. And also there were pieces, if there were a lot, there were only 10 of these done. And these are my art proofs, actually. And then I did the Rose Float. So here's a Rose Float from 1996 in which I won a huge award for as well. This is my dear friend Bruce Lanoyle and his son Nicky. And Nicky is the boy. If that little boy looks like the boy on the float, there's a reason for that. I designed it all based on something that Nicky did and said. While Bruce is an amazing puppeteer, and we've worked together for a very long time. Not only are we friends, but we did a lot of shows together. And if I, We do a lot of shows when we can. You know, he's got family and grandkids, and Nikki is now in his 20s. So I think he just got married, maybe. Anyway, yeah, Nikki just got married. I mean, come on. So here he is. He's 3 years old. I created this float. It's called Dream Flight for the city of Burbank. And that boy is designed after this little kid. So I can work 40 feet. I can work 3 inches. But everything is about detail. So during the pandemic, my point was try something different. And so I did. I wanted to try some things different. And one of the things I'm working on now is taking minimal lines to give you the feeling of a figure or whatever. You know, how can I just use the least amount of lines possible? Because what happens is, as a Disney artist, you may notice that if a Disney artist has been doing Disney for a long time, when they do their own art, it looks very Disney because you are creating in the style of Disney for years. And then when you go back to find yourself again, you may be a little lost. My own opinion. And that's what was happening to me. I was doing a lot of sculpting. I still do, as you know, a lot of sculpting for Disney. And I'll show you the full. There's the full rose thing. You may have seen this right there. And it's not all about me. The city of Burbank builds them. They're self-built. They built them. The smoke guy made colored smoke come out of the nostrils of the dragon. I coached sculptors because I know how to sculpt. So why would I sculpt everything? It would be better for me to mentor people who want to sculpt and teach them in how to do this. And then we're a team. We create this beautiful float and we win an award. And my name is actually announced in 1996. So it was a huge, exciting experience. So size for me doesn't matter. Here I am standing in front of the pieces. You can see here, right here, these are Burbank people. And then I'm in my Henson jacket as I oversee the decoration of the float because my name's going to be on it. Okay, so if my name is going to be on it, and there's battles and, if you want to hear about rose floats, the AMA, the Ask Me Anything, reach out to Leo, reach out to me. You can ask more about designing a float because anyone can do it, and then Muppets. So there's there's a lot. But my point is that I'm super detail oriented. And as a result, this is, you want to talk about detail. Here you go. Here is the map, Disneyland map. I offered this map. Look at that. I mean, that's detail on steroids, guys. That's like insane detail. Okay. If we focus in, what it is it's based on a children's wood puzzle and everything is sculpted. This almost put me in the hospital, the detail of this. So it was for the 45th originally when Disney decided that they wanted it for the very last Disneyana convention of 2001. And you can see down here that it says Disneyana Convention 2001. Only 10 were made. If you own this, you are very lucky because there were only 10. So what I did was have to present a drawing, and you can see by the black lines exploded here that this is how I divided up each land, and I did these sketches. So I got to walk Disneyland by myself and decide what I was going to put where in order, and then I had to present this to the merchandise people at Disneyland. And they fell in love with it so much that they decided to pull it from the 45th anniversary and put it into the last Disneyana convention to celebrate Walt Disney's 100th birthday. They just thought it was super cool. And if we go back to the sculpture, there it is. I work in a toy wax, which is why this detail is easily done. But holy cats, guys, it's nuts. You know, if you want to see the actual piece, I have one because I have my art proof. I always have an art proof. But this is bas relief and it's all sculpted. Started out in clay. Yes, it did. Then it was cast up and then I sculpted in the toy wax. So all of these pieces that you see here are me. In fact, one of the most insane sections is Fantasyland. Let me zoom in on Fantasyland. You see Dumbo right at the center, and then below that you can't really see it, but that's a Maleficent right there, kind of that right at the castle. That's Maleficent. And then over on the other side of the castle, you see there's a Tinkerbell. Yeah, she's a little fuzzy because, what am I going to do? But if you want to actually see this piece and see how big it is or whatever, you're interested in that, just mention it and Leah will hit me up and I will pull it out if I remember. Okay. So basically, when you get this detail, what detailed, you do this. You're like magnifier, and you're like, so it's kind of nice to spread your wings and be work bigger, work more fluid, work differently, see what you can do for the essence. And a lot of times before the pandemic, I would do demos. I would call speed. So how did I get out of doing Disney when I wanted to do my own art? And I don't know if I have any animals that I sculpted. A lot of them I sold, but I like doing animals. I like sculpting animals. In fact, I was watching Disney Plus and I was watching their Incredible Planet or something like that. And they were showing me some amazing animals I had never seen before. It started with the Komodo dragon. I've seen him, but they had these monkeys that I think maybe I'm going to start to sculpt some of those. Again, I'll be going back into detail. It's not like detail is going away. I just want you to be able to look at the piece and go, that's a TERRI HARDIN. You know what I mean? As well as you can tell a TERRI HARDIN with my Disney work, I wanted to be in my own work. And that's what this year is about. It's about perfecting that transition. And one of the things that I used to do at the Disneyana fan club show and sales was there were times I would demo speed sculpting. So the way I broke out of doing Disney art, my art looking like Disney art, I wanted it to be two different camps. TERRI does Disney, TERRI does her own. They don't look the same. You know what I'm saying? So what I decided to do was to do these quick sculpts. I used a very malleable oil-based clay, meaning it doesn't dry, it doesn't break and crackle. It stays moist even in the air. And then I would quick sculpt. So I would take a picture, for example, of let's say a pussycat. Let's say I did a picture of a pussycat. So let's see, do I have anything like that so I could show you what I mean? I'm not sure I do. Oh, and I'm going to show you something else. Let me just, here he goes, those tangents again. This is why this can last 3 hours, right? Okay, so TERRI tangent, going off on a tangent because I'm going to show you a couple other things, because not only do I work detailed and crazy detail, but I also work microscopic. So here's a couple of examples, okay? This is obviously a skeleton hand, and that is not, your eyes are not deceiving you. That's a dime. Yeah. So not only do I work detailed, but I work teeny. And this is the skull, the size of a quarter. I love working small. I love it. I don't know why. I'm insane. That's probably part of it. But, and you can see that this is closer to my own art. This doesn't necessarily say Disney, but it is for a Disney piece. This is Guillermo del Toro, yes, the director's pirate bed that I did for him in 2010. He asked me to recreate for him the pirate bed, and there is fabric in this. There are real pearls, real rubies, and real gemstones in it. Everything you see there is sculpted. And if you want to see the book it came from, because I designed him a book as well, so you can take that journey, there's something else for the AMA. Okay, so I'm doing this today to help spark your mind, to help me to show you more content in the future. Ulterior motive, right? Here's a detailed shot of it. So it wasn't all me. I did not sew every fabric. I had a team of people. We got together and we did things together. So I sculpted things like the bedpan, the pirate is me, but the hat, the pillows, those are done by my dear friend who does miniature fabric. She is known for doing miniature fabric on Beetlejuice and several other films. She worked a lot with Legacy and Stan Winston, so she's very talented. And what else can I show you? Is there more? Yeah, here's more. So here's the front view of it, close up. The stocking cap is really a stocking cap. All of the pieces you see, the headboard, everything is hand sculpted by me. Okay, it took about a year to get it done. And there's Guillermo as I presented it to Guillermo del Toro on his table. He's really super excited about it. The chest at the base opens, which he really loved. That's called a wouldn't it be cool if. When you do a wouldn't it be cool if, it adds a day to your production art, just so you know. You see something and you go, wouldn't it be cool if the chest opened, and there's another day of work. So it just kept happening. But these details, again, if I show you the details again, you'll see, and am I overstating this? Probably, but here's the back. I did a piece for Disneyland of the pirate's bed, captain's bed. It's one of my favorite. And Guillermo saw it and wanted to buy it, but I couldn't sell it because I don't own it. I did them for Disney's parks and they sold out quickly. But those were all black on the back because they were for a shelf. But Guillermo, you saw the table he was standing on. He wanted to walk around the entire thing. So I had to come up with something at the back. So I came up with this. And if you look at the size, there is it there. And you will all recognize it if you've been to Disneyland as the plaque as you're going through Pirates of the Caribbean. I thought it was cool. And then I changed, and it's the dedication for Guillermo. The most breath-consuming thing that I can think of is checking to make sure his name was spelled right. Because the last thing you want to do is Guillermo say, wow, I love it, but my name is spelled wrong. I had fears of that. But there is a detail of my wax sculpture you can see. And then there is the actual size of it. So there I am, and there is the actual size. Yeah, flipping small. And it's not my style. It's the style of the plaque. So, like I said, there you go. So if you do that a lot, and I've been an Imagineer since 1987, and now I'm the come here, get away Imagineer. They bring me on when they want to catch up on certain things because I'm a killer foam carver. I'm good with rock work, etc., etc. But I also do commission pieces, detailed commission pieces for people. So if you have one thing that you want and you can't get it anywhere and you want it your way, I'm the one that you would have do it because Disney appreciates my work because it's on model. And you do too because it's on model, meaning it looks like these characters, right? Okay, so if I go back to what I was originally saying, which was how do we get out of the, and I was trying to see if I had the art, but I don't. But for example, let's use Rocket as an example, okay? So here's my lovely dog Rocket. And if I was, what I would do is I would speed sculpt. So I would take a malleable clay and I would set a timer for 10 or 20 minutes. And then I would try to sculpt quickly and get as much as I could to say Rocket before the buzzer went off. Are you following me? So that way the brain can't go in that much. It's my hands moving and then I got to see how I do. Right? So if you ever want to see, maybe this is something that would be a fun YouTube channel, is Terry speed sculpting. Can she nail Rocket in 20 minutes or 10 minutes? Sometimes it's 10 minutes, you just keep playing, changing the buzzer and you sort of challenge yourself. Then you begin to see things emerge in your ability as an artist that you never saw possible because your brain is no longer second guessing you. Does that make sense? So that's the idea. I would take pictures like Rocket. I would take pictures of cats, or I love animals. So animals are kind of the thing I do. And then you would take the essence, because if you only have 10 minutes to sculpt something, and I would usually do it about this big. So let me go back to the picture so you can see I'd only do it about this big. okay, or maybe a little bit bigger, and I would do it out of soft clay. So the soft clay is not going to give me the detail that I want. It has to be the feel of it. It has to say rocket without being a detailed sculpture of my dog. And I hope that makes sense. Or anything of a cat or whatever. I do cats in boots and I do. And the funny thing about the Disney Anna Fan Club is I had created them simply for studies, not for sale, and everybody wanted them. So I ended up giving them away because, I wasn't going to sell them, and they squish. They don't get solid. So it's not like sculpting where you can take it and bake it. I didn't want anything like the polymer clay. I wanted something that I could mush. My plan was to make cat in a boot and then squish it and then make something else and then squish it and then make, not keeping any of it. But the people would come up and go, can I have the cat? Can I have the, I have a guy who writes children's books, and he does this cute little dormouse, and he wanted me to do the dormouse. So I really quickly, sculpted his dormouse, but that's what I'm talking about. So, so this isn't exactly what I thought was going to happen in the presentation today. It's a good thing I said and more. But one of the things that many of you have been writing to me, even if you haven't been commenting in YouTube, on the comments of YouTube or Facebook, was that you liked seeing the pictures or some of the reference of some of the stuff that I've done and continue to do. So I do have a store. It's a place where you can buy some of these things. Not all of these things are available. Many are sold out. And you can go to that store. I can show you the link to that store. If you want to just look, there's no obligation, of course, to, it's it right there. That's the store. I have pins available. I got a new pin coming out, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. But I have a new one. I've designed a new one with Joshua Schaefer, and I've just asked him we're not going to discuss it till later. So, bless him. If he'd already discussed it, just, that's fine. I just didn't want to, I'd like something to be a surprise other than, I want some positive surprises in your life, right? I also have to say that because of the delay of the Hitchhiking Ghosts delaying, originally they were supposed to be released in December, and the manufacturers who are manufacturing those ghosts, for those of you who have prepaid, got COVID-19. And that took a month out of the schedule. And you were all so gracious to let me put them into 2021. Now, one of the reasons the call is happening is, when can you expect them in 2021? So, but that's just, just ask restaurant owners, people in the airlines, all of them, how COVID has just upended their lives. And I thought I could be immune to it, and it got me. So it's derailed my ghost train, and I need to talk to those of you who have prepaid so we can get it back on track. And I have several ideas, which is one of the reasons you're not getting an email. I want to hear your voices, which is why I'm asking you to be on the Zoom call, is because it's vitally important that I hear from you, because this is for you, for me. I'll sculpt for food, but but many of you asked for the ghosts, and so you want them. I want to deliver, and so I need your help. So that's why I've been Shawshanking you with emails if you haven't answered whether you're going to be on the AM call at 9 a.m. tomorrow Pacific or the PM call at 5 p.m. And I've even said, please clear your calendar if possible, because I want to hear your voice. Now, if you just can't because you're working, I get it. Okay. If I seemed a little, boom, boom, boom about it, it was because I wanted to drive home how important it is that I hear from you. But if you're busy, I have a couple people who are in Florida. They are snowbirds, and they've gone down to Florida, and they're having a Florida time. I don't know what they're doing, but some of you don't have computers, and some of you, don't worry if you don't know how to do Zoom. It's easy. You just click the link and sort of stumble your way to the camera section of it. But best on a laptop because everything's in front of you. But if you got to use a phone or an iPad, it works there too. So don't worry. I had to start on Zoom too. And if you've never done Zoom, it's not like I'm going to say, what's the matter with you? No, I get it. I get it. I am a in person, hi, how are you? So, but this is one of the things that, happens when I am in a situation like that. So here's where the stories, you can look at stuff and what are some of the things that are there? Well, I still have some pins available, and I still have these are my Jiminy Cricket. He comes in the nice little box. It's a cricket, can't be too careful. It has the when you wish upon the star uh, tissue paper inside. It's a sweet little box. He's a sweet little character, and if I hide this, you can see him with his little. He's dressed as the hobo, so he's really adorable. He's just one of the things that you can see at the store. So okay, so there you have it. I want to go over the comments now because I'm curious if anybody has a why some people aren't broadcasting on Facebook. I've just noticed that several of my friends have said no more, no more, no more. So I'm not sure about that. And also I want to hear what you have to say and see who's here. So this is the time I'm going to skate over to that. And also if you are someone who has a really who knows anything about YouTube and you want to share it with me, I'm all ears because it's such an enigma to me that I'm continuing to work towards understanding. And the best way to understand something is to ask someone who is doing it, and many of you are doing it, and I am too. The goal, many have said, is to just keep it up. So for the YouTube channel, I'm happy to say that I was able to learn how to connect it with my Facebook group and bring you guys in via YouTube so that you can every Monday and Friday chat with me as well. So now I'm getting consistent at a time when I would not be consistent. Many artists are just saying, why do you bother? Why are you going on camera? I would never go on camera. No, forget it. Not doing it. And I get it. I understand it's work, and it is hard. It is challenging. A lot of times I'll try and show what I'm doing, and then I'll get in front of where the camera is, and all you see is the back of my dreadlocks. The whole thing is it's a learning curve. That's all I'm going to say. Many artists would rather not do it, but I do it because I want you to have an opportunity to be upbeat. What do I do when I'm sad and upset? I just, keep swimming like most of you. And am happy to talk about things that bring you joy. If I can do that, then I feel that this is anyone who has the ability to share upbeat, joyful noise should do so. So I keep doing it because I want to. I love you guys. And my husband says talking is one of the best things I do. And you can see by the time, how long have we gone? Over an hour. Again. All right. So have a lovely Monday. Those of you who don't want to see me read the comments and answer questions and go off on tangents there, you got a life. Maybe you got to make lunch for your family or play in the snow because you're around snow, or enjoy the beautiful sunshine. I get it. If you're listening to this later, thank you. If you are subscribing, thank you. And please share it. Just I want to share the joy, so help me share the joy. And I've been told by my trainings on YouTube to ask you to subscribe and to hit the little bell, which I had no idea what that bell meant until I watched a YouTube and it said notifies you for new. See? What are you going to do? All right. I love you guys. Do something nice for someone else and it'll make you feel so much better. I'm going to go over and see, what are you all doing today? And that is going to be the fun part because I love that. Okay. So here we go. Good morning, Marco Clarkey. I like saying, some people go, hello, Michael, hello, blah, 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 blah. Hi, Amy. Yes. Thank you. Isn't that fun? That is the wine actually is very good. Thank you, Ashton Kutcher, and your lovely wife. I have to say, I will always, mostly if I meet you, go, you are what? I'll know your character more than your name. But I really went crazy for this wine quarantine, and I loved it because it had a blank label for me to draw on. And thank you for saying that, Amy. Hi, Susie. Sorry I didn't get to join you guys for bingo. I'm hoping to do it this coming week. You know. Oh, thank you, Michael. It is. It's cute. Good morning, Bonnie. Hello, Angie. Angie is one of the people that said this really helps her out to just sit and yap. So it's her. Crystal. Well, hello there. Been a long time, my girl. Good to see ya. Good to see you. Awesome. And then, hello, SD. I'll be sending you a recording today. Yesterday got away from me. And, it is what it is. It's family day. And I should have never promised you family day because my family got, crazy career I've had, eh? Sometimes when you look at it, and Joshua Schaefer, who's an amazing writer, if you haven't seen his Disney book, you really got to get it. Maybe I'll pull it on in the AMA. I'll pull it up and show it to you. It's a great book. And I got to write the foreword to it, which is pretty neat. There's a little story there. Rolly Crump versus TERRI HARDIN and the foreword to Joshua Schaefer's book. It's a saga, No, it's not really. But thank you. Thank you, Crystal. Flintstones, yes. I did Flintstones Viva Rock Vegas, which was the second one, and then I did the first one with John Goodman. And it was a crack load of fun. If you want to see pictures from it, I'm happy to show you pictures from it because I try and do my best to take pictures, but I don't do a lot of fan stuff where I'm posing with the actors when I'm doing the puppets and stuff. One of the reasons is because they're my colleagues. We work together. So I don't really think to do that. But if I'm on the side and someone was kind enough to take a picture of me doing it, then I try to track that down. So I need to learn more from Bruce Lanoil. Bruce Lanoil tends to be able to get that done within that as well. So he's the one that actually we were working with Whoopi Goldberg, and I have a great picture of him and I and Whoopi, and it's all his fault. Yeah. What did I do on the Flintstones? I did all kinds of stuff. I let me see if I can show you, Michael. I'm happy to pull those pictures if I can find them quickly. That is the true question. Can she find them quickly? Let me see. I've got like Dolly Parton and my cosplaying and my sculpting that I did for Dragon's Lair. Oh, here we go. Okay. So for Michael. There we go. So Michael, here you can see that rather shapely backside. That's mine. I've always had a better back than a front, I'm afraid. Not a lot up top with the girls, but my rump has been ample. That's because I'm half black. But anyway, there's my rump, and I'm next to a giant dinosaur. This is the Bronto crane that John Goodman operates, and I'm not operating the entire Bronto crane. I'm doing facial. So facial movements, and then 9 people inside the back of the Bronto crane are making the neck go up and down and the head tilt and so on and so forth. Here I am down here near the bottom. You see it's John Goodman. He's standing. There's the Dictabird on his shoulder, and the Dictabird, there you go. Now you can see me talk too. The Dictabird on his shoulder is a team of puppeteers. So there's one that is doing a big one system, a radio control system that is making the head move. And then I am wings. So, and you can see the body's being held up, and then I'm doing the wings. So I was Dicta Wings, if you would. Here I am programming the time clock. This is at an offshoot of Henson's. It's the Creature Shop. And in the Creature Shop, I am actually doing the big one system, programming the that dinosaur. I'm also wearing a Ultraman shirt that was sent to me because I did the Ultraman TV show when it was here in the US. So, whoops, did I forget to say that before? Yeah, so little time. Here is something that's really, really funny. When you talk about the Flintstones and you talk about glamorous jobs as a puppeteer, you get some weird ones. Here's John Goodman on his back, and I am playing Dino's tongue. So there's a sequence where Dino licks, he jumps on Fred like in the cartoon, and then he's licked. Well, I'm the tongue. That's my job. Lick, 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 lick. I know, right? Crazy, crazy, crazy. Up here is Elizabeth Taylor, and she's about to get chomped in the dream sequence. And so, of course, that's me again with the team of puppeteers that operate Bronto Head, and she's getting chomped on. And then over on the other side, here, right next to my little square picture, I am also Dino's paws. So when Dino comes running, he's ahead, he's paws, and boom. And then the rest is computer generated animation. And if you look at it, it was in its early stages, so it's not perfect. But it's kind of neat to see CG where it started, which Flintstones was one of the movies that started with the CG, and where it is today, and see how much they can just about do anything now, right? So, so there you go. There you go, my friend. That's kind of what I did. I did all kinds of stuff on the Flintstones, actually. And I'm very, very grateful. I did Dick the Bird. I did a lot of the characters. And in Viva Rock Vegas, I reprised doing that stuff by doing the octopus paw that spins the roulette ball, throws the ball, and just all kinds of cool stuff. So yeah, it was great fun. Yeah. It was great fun. Thank you for listening. I can tell you're really following it. Now you opened a can of worms. Yes, I have. Indeed, I have. And SD says dinosaurs were before its time. Indeed, it was before its time. And this became a big saying. Bob Burdine says, "I'm the baby, gotta love me," even though I never said it. I did the hands. I did the hitting, the ripping, the tearing. I got the fun job, actually. And that's I'm sticking to it. Melissa says she loves Lost in Space. It's so cheesy, but now I see why Mom hated it. Exactly. Melissa, that's true. I can't watch it anymore. I used to imitate the lady with the salad bowl on her head. Lovely, handsome Dr. Smith. Ooh, that character. I fell in love with her, and then I saw her later and went, why did I like that character? I used to go around imitating her as a little kid all the time. Handsome Dr. Smith. So that was quiet. And yes, Bonnie, I can't wait either. And Captain EO is one. Now, I don't know, maybe you guys know who are a part of Disney Plus. Is there a way to write to them and make requests on what you'd like to see? Because I'm voting for Lion King and Captain EO. You know, Captain EO cannot, even when Disneyland was open, it was at the park for a little bit, but then we lost it again. And it's a lot of fun. And Michael Jackson was at his prime at that time. And it's sweet as pie. And if you want to know stories about that, you know me, I've got a story for everything. You got rid of Disney Plus. I understand, Melissa. Believe me, I got it for Christmas. And mainly because my husband knew I wanted to see The Mandalorian. But what I'm learning is there's a lot of stuff on there in addition to The Mandalorian that makes me very happy. Also, I own a lot of the classic Disney on DVD because I want to be able to see it when I want to see it. But it was nice to be able to very quickly, I'm quick with the DVDs, whoosha, but it was nice to click on Cinderella animated and click on Cinderella Kenneth Branagh live action, boom, boom, and really see them quickly. I just love that. So there are some wonderful things. And then a lot of behind the scenes of Disney Plus and things that, I mean, the documentaries are by far the thing that just make me crazy. Just getting to see more about Pixar, getting to look deeper, looking at the short films that all the Pixar people make. It just, there's so many things that are just are worth it, that I'm really enjoying it. Will I be able to enjoy it for an entire year? I don't know. I have a year subscription. I'm going to give it my college try and see, but Dinosaurs is coming out and I wanted to watch it on there. I just like that it's on an accessible streaming channel. I think I'm beside myself on that. So I love it. Yes, I agree with you, Steve. It is. And it's cool. It's just cool. Good morning, Johnny Johnson. How are you doing? Is Walt Disney World still open? Or did you guys have to lock down because of COVID? Are you guys still open over there? We don't even have restaurants open. You have to do takeout. And in fact, there's a restaurant that I talk about that I love. Their tacos, Tin Hone Flats. They just got hit with a big fine because they refused to not have people inside their bar. And that just happened over the weekend. They got, nailed. So now I have to find another place to get my tacos for a while till they get that all fixed up, because they were shut down hard here in the epicenter. Hello, Ava Williams Frank. How are you? The Death Drop was amazing. You've never seen it on stage. It was well performed. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I thought that was so impressive. Jerry Cornell, hey man, how are you? And neither can I. I have the DVDs of Dinosaurs and I watch them often. What you may or may not know about Dinosaurs, the TV show, especially if you saw it as a kid, is many of those won awards. Many of them won awards because they had strong messages, as well as being a very entertaining show. Very intricate and a little expensive to produce, but it really was a good show and a lot of fun. And we all were a big family. All the puppeteers on it were a family, and we loved working together, and we loved going in and doing it it was just great. So it's nice to reminisce. And the Beretta Brothers are going to have this coming Sunday. They've been doing countdowns. So look up the Beretta Brothers on YouTube, and theberettabrothers.com, I believe, as well. And I would imagine they have a calendar of all the people who worked on Dinosaurs talking about their job on the production. And this Sunday is Baby Sinclair and probably Earl. I don't know. I don't know all the details yet. I just said to Bill, please include me. And I'll be on that. So I will post it as soon as I know, just like I did the 30th anniversary, for those of you who saw that, where we all came together and I hadn't seen these people in a long time. And that's the exciting part of stuff like that, is being able to see these people. So it's neat. It's really neat. Hello, James J. Williams. Hello. So nice. Thank you for joining me today. Morning, just got on business calls. I know, Janet, life still happens, doesn't it? But thank you for popping in and saying howdy. Not here. It's been in the 46-50 yesterday, but I'm in Northern California. Yeah, you're taking all the rain. You realize that, Janet? You are taking all of our rain. Actually, it's not Northern California's fault. Mexico, we have this high and they're pushing the rain away. So it's Mexico's fault, isn't it? It's not, but you guys are getting all the rain. All that green just goes whoop, right over us. And we're like, oh man. But it does help me to clean my garage. This warmer weather is going to allow me to clean my garage, which really has not seen a clean since I moved in 2004. So it's going to be so great. I can't wait to show you. In fact, maybe what I'll do is take some video and some pictures of the before and then show you the after. It's going to feel so good, the before and the after, because I have an office that was a catch-all and now it's getting cleaned, and then the garage is getting cleaned. And there's just, like I said, if you're someone who takes 1 through 6 to work hard on whatever it is, and there's always more to do, then that third day you just rest. It's really important that you just rest so you can charge those batteries. And it's just been lovely. It's one of those things where my husband and I will be maybe in a Barca lounger, or we'll have breakfast in bed or whatever, and then we'll drift off again. And I think one of the finest naps in the world is the one where you're watching a movie and you sort of just drift into unconsciousness. And that happens a lot on Sundays. And I love that. Then I wake up and I go, wow, that really was a good nap. So that's just what I've been saying. So yeah. Yes, Dan, that's exactly right. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm in StreamYard. You may not know that because my little mallard who used to be here is no longer there. And that is because I have joined StreamYard. It's very important that when you're working on it for free, the mallard stays there to advertise. And you can work on it for free as long as you want, as long as you don't mind the mallard being over here. I kind of got excited about the mallard. I thought he was a real cute, sweet little guy. So I like the mallard, but also once I realized that StreamYard was such a great platform for me to work, I decided to become a member of it and support them, because that's what you do, is you don't keep taking, you give a little. So I wanted to give a little, but thank you, Dan. Can you use a GoPro 8? They are cheap enough and it is 4K. Hey, that's a good idea. How cheap is cheap, Dan? What are we talking? You got a number? I'd love to hear it. It's a great idea. In fact, I'm going to write it down. GoPro 8. I think I have a GoPro 4, Dan. Isn't that embarrassing? GoPro 8. I'll check it out. Thank you, Dan. You're a sweetheart. Thank you for saying that. I really appreciate it. I really do. You're streaming on YouTube live right now. I got messaged when you go live from your YouTube and Facebook. Thank you. Yes, I learned. Again, what I mentioned from before was that, first of all, I have someone who taught me about StreamYard, and I'm doing the bare bones right now. Full disclosure, Dan, and and Janet, and then I found out that I could do two together at the same time, which really is great, because many people who are watching me on Facebook were thrilled to be able to stay in bed for a little bit and watch the YouTube feed. So, you can't please everybody, but I sure do seem to please a lot. And I'm very grateful to all of you for helping me with that. Or use a DSLR and switch between the two cameras using a switcher. Yeah. And I have that, don't I? I have that right here. That's what I've been doing between that and the pictures I've been showing you. And that was my training last year. Yeah, last year. That's what I had to do last year. And that's what I had to learn last year, because I had never done anything like that. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it, Dan. Seriously, it is a lot of fun. And more. See YouTube side. Hi. Yes. Thank you, JC. And thank you for joining me. Are you new? If you are, yay. If not, yay. Or are you just available? You can make those each a channel. Drive traffic to each one. Indeed. You think so, huh? So Dan Gilman is saying he thinks they should be channels, not playlists. What do the rest of you think? Because I'm not adverse. Is that the right word? I'm not against. Okay, let me just use the little less point Scrabble word. I'm not against doing multiple channels. I just want to know what most of you do who really know this platform called YouTube. I'm also on Instagram, and I'm learning that as well. Last year, I was about at 1,500 followers, and I jumped up to about 56 or 54 or whatever. And it was because of trainings from you guys. I still have not done stories or reels or anything like that. There are things I need to study and learn, because I've tried to do it. And then, oh my God, don't even start with TikTok. Even though people have said you can really drive a lot of traffic to your other channels via TikTok, TikTok is confusing me. One of the things that confused me about TikTok, and I'm leaving Dan up here because he's right. You can make each a channel and drive traffic to them. Each channel can work to drive traffic to the others. If you like this, go over here and learn this, go over here and learn that. It's great. And he's right. He's absolutely right. That is a very, very exciting thing. So let me just see. And again, I'm so glad you guys bear with me as I try to figure out what I'm doing here. I'm getting to, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? It's so funny because I am getting better at this, but there's always something more to learn. Let me tell you. So a lot of times people say, just jump, just try and do it. And so I did that with TikTok. I jumped, and I'm trying to see if I can find it here. Forgive me leaning off camera for a minute. I want to show you guys something if I can find it so I can explain better. I may not be able to explain better because I'm not sure if it's going to be here. Oh, yeah, okay. Well, there's some things here, but I can't find the one that I really wanted to share with you. So I'll try and find it here on my phone. But Dan, I will show you what I mean. You're still on Facebook, says Janice. Pronounce it right. Yeah. And like you were saying, you're still there. It's interesting because a lot of people who are like, I have a friend who's been live on it forever. In fact, he was one of the people that kind of helped me to better understand how to go live originally. And I did it terribly. I did it wrong. Again, like I told you before, you just jump. And if you do it wrong, you do it wrong. And then you try to do it right the next time. But like I said, so I tried to do the jump method with TikTok, and because people were telling me TikTok's fun. It's really cool. I don't see doing a silly dance. I don't have time for it. I'm sorry, guys. Those of you who have time for it, yay for you. Congratulations. I'm so proud of you. But in my case, here we go. This is what I wanted to show you. All right, cool. Okay. All right. So I decided to just jump on TikTok, and I was going to show this little stop motion video that I did because I'm doing stuff new and I'm doing stop motion. I'm not an expert at it, but I've got time to play. So on my family day or on a Saturday evening or a Saturday morning before my husband gets up, I will do a little stop motion play, or he and I will do it together. And if you're on YouTube, you've seen the Teacups and the Haunted Mansion Dance Party. Both of those are stop motion that my husband and I have been experimenting with. And we will continue to do it because I would like to do a stop motion film, but I practice with little vignettes just to kind of see what happens. Well, when I was away, I built a Totoro. And yeah, there he is. I built this Totoro out of Lego. I have Lego. I got it for my birthday. I didn't have any time to do it. I finally had this little Totoro. So I did an 8-second film, and people were telling me you could do 60 seconds on TikTok. And I was like, okay, I should be able to do the full 8 seconds. But TikTok cut it to 4. And then they made me, this horrible music that so I totally didn't understand it. So if you've seen it and you're confused by it, join the club. So was I. But anyway, this was my full-on film, and I was so proud of it because he stopped, and then he slides out, slides in, walks back, forward, feeding, okay? So what I'm proud of is, you notice if I play it again, he goes on an angle and he goes on another angle, and that's all stuff I had to figure out because it's all stop motion. So the spins, pretty simple. And then see how he slides back and slides in and does his little jiggle? So basically what I'm saying is I was really proud of that piece, and it's only 8 seconds. And I thought, well, this would be a fun little TikTok thing to do. But they cut it down to 4. So the payoff isn't real good. So you see, I've just put TikTok on the shelf for a while. I'm sure there's a YouTube, because there always is, a way to understand and master YouTube. But I figure TikTok, but I figure I'm going to sit with YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook first, and then I'll expand my horizons with a little bit of sprinkling of Twitter on the side, because I totally don't get Twitter. So there you have it. You don't know everything. No, I don't. And I never will, Angie. August 11, 2011. Okay, so see what I mean? But Angie, did you take a look that early and see how much was just not done? Like, I don't think I had a banner up because I couldn't figure out how to do the banner on the top for decades, I think. At least it felt like decades. It's not decades. Decades is 10 years. But it felt painful, right? Because I'm trying to figure out how to, I was just like, I just couldn't figure it out. So my husband said, breathe and create content and don't worry about it, and we'll figure it out. And that's good. Let's see. Bob says, I spoke about your work on Splash Mountain on a Disney group. They were asking about the vehicle, so I referred them to you in your program. I hope that's okay. Yes, it's always okay. And I'm happy to talk about the vehicle because the vehicle's fun to talk about. If you go to Florida and you sit in the Splash Mountain ride vehicle, social distancing, of course, the rabbit on the front is mine and the texture on the side is mine. And if you want to know how I did it or what it took to do it, what happened when I was doing it as an Imagineer, more questions for the AMA. Okay? All righty. Thank you, Bob. That's very sweet of you to do that. That's the y'all attitude. That's it. Y'all come, okay? A gesture. Yes, of course. A gesture. See, Joel Christopher Payne is saying that I'm calling it speed, but he's like, you get the gesture of the piece. So Joel is a painter. So he is talking, he's kind of doing the same, kind of speaking on that subject, which a gesture. Exactly. How little of a gesture can you do and it still look like what you're looking to create? Hi, Michael Joseph Luzzy. Couldn't join live. Have an excellent day. And same to you. See you tomorrow at 9 a.m. We call them gesture sketches. Exactly, Joel. And thank you for saying that. It's gorgeous in person. Thank you for saying that too. He's talking about the map. Yeah, well, he could be talking about a multitude of things, but the map really is stunning because it's insane. It almost put me in the hospital. A lot of work. I should have charged more, just between you and me. Disney got a bargain on that one. It's in parts too, meaning that it comes apart. If you ever had a children's wood puzzle, do you remember those? You dump the pieces out, they were wood, and then you put like the head. Let's say it was a turtle. You put that head turtle, the back of the turtle legs, and they all made the turtle inside that shape. I loved those as a kid. And I probably should create more, huh? Ooh. You never know, do you? Yes, indeed. But anyway, that's what that's based on, is a children's wood puzzle. The detail on the skull is nuts. Yeah, I'm insane. I'm telling you, when I finally work out this system where you can see me and what I wear and what I'm working on simultaneously, you're going to laugh. You really are going to laugh because it is crazy. And yes, Joel saw, and Joel brings up a very good point. I don't want to lose him here. There he is. Yeah, the LA County Museum of Art, Guillermo del Toro had a huge collection of things. And one of the things he really wanted to show off, and he actually called to tell me that I made the cut, was this piece that I did for him. And it was so nice. And I have a great picture of all of us standing in front of it and me pointing to my name like, ooh. And then people like Cameron walking up and going, wow, that's a lot of work and it's amazing. And Guillermo going, yes, it is. So you can't write this stuff yourself. You know, it is it's a blessed life. It really is. Joseph Massey says, I joined late. I'm lucky to have inherited your Disneyland map from my friend who passed away several years ago. It's packed away and hopefully I'll find room to display it one day. Yes, indeed, because you can look at it for a long time and make new discoveries in it. It's like the Where's Waldo of Disneyland, this map. And there were only 10 made. So Joseph, win on your part, buddy. And I'm so glad that they gave it to you because you will take good care of it and love on it. I would be terrified spelling it incorrectly. LOA. Yeah, I was. I like checked it like 50 times. No lie. I kept looking and kept looking and kept looking because, you know, you may not realize it, but I'm carving that into, I'm actually carving out so that when I rub it with the gold sinks inside. So it is released, you know, it's dug into that piece. Yeah. Scary, scary, scary. You are right. I have a replica of the pirate plaque as well, but it's bigger and was probably just made by someone on eBay years ago. Yeah, but you know, bigger is easier. I'm just going to tell you because you got your fingers you can use to make stuff mold, okay? The difference is, and I'll show you a couple of pieces I'm working on right now. I showed you the bead or the sort of bead, but the head that I'm working on, I can't get my fingers in to mold these little teeny eyes and stuff. Even this size of this character that I'm working on now, I still need tools to do it, to get into the lips and things. You know, it's taking it. And one of the things that's very important to me is a profile. This is going to change a lot. Right now, I love the profile of it. It looks real juvenile, but the front doesn't look juvenile enough for me. So, yeah. So anyway, it's going to be, but it's still small. When you do stuff bigger, you can put your fingers in there. You can get into the eyes. If you do a head this size, your fingers become a major tool, and thank God for it. But that's why I like small, because it's a challenge to do small stuff. I got to have the right tool. I've got to have the right muscle dexterity. It's a challenge. But yeah, but the bigger plaque is fun too. I'm not saying it's not, but for Guillermo, it needed to be small, of course. And of course, I met the challenge. Gave Rose a sculpture. Yes, Rose was there. So Bob Berdine and his wife Rose are talking about when I was doing the gesture sculpting. It does sound a little more highbrow, doesn't it, Joel Christopher Payne? A speed carving just kind of sounds like yeah, well, I'm not even going to go there. Joshua Schaefer is here, and he's saying it's a surprise. We're talking about the pin that will remain nameless, but more later. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Joshua. You're so sweet. So you can go there and you can look around. There's no cost for looking around. And bear with me when you order something. It's the pandemic. It's going to take me a little bit of time to get it to you. My post office, actually, I wrote to somebody who ordered a few days ago. I hope it was only a few days ago, but I wrote to him and said I had not yet sent it because I mail so much stuff. And Michael Luzzy is the one that kind of helped me with this. MJ, I met my Postmaster General. He's a really sweet guy. And so I can now just call him up because of the pandemic. I want to make sure I go to the post office when there's not a lot of people there. Again, because I have a husband with a heart condition and he's high risk. So the Postmaster General told me that it would be best not to start shipping until today. So a lot of you who have stuff that you're waiting on me, I'm shipping it out today. Seriously, today is the day. Because he said they had backlogs and people were just cramming the post office last week because it was like the first week after the first of the year or whatever. So he was just saying, you know, if you want to be safe, Terry, if you want to be cautious, today, Monday, and this week is the best. And I want to thank MJ Luzzy because I never thought to reach out to my Postmaster General at my post office. It just didn't occur to me. I had friends at the counter that I know, and I would talk with them, but I actually have, I can call my Postmaster General, which is the cool thing. So that's pretty neat. And that's the magic of MJ. Joel Christopher Payne says, I'll be at Epcot Art Festival signing for the first time, 20th through the 25th. How are they keeping you safe, Joel? How is the distancing, or does Florida not care? I know they do, but how are they doing it? You know, I'm a little flippant with that, but you know, we all have this. So how are they handling that during the pandemic? How are they keeping you safe and signing? Are you on like a pedestal and you sign it, and then what? Then what happens? I'm really curiously. I mean, I don't understand how that can be done. I'm doing a Ghostbusters signing. It's being handled by by Thomas, and Thomas is doing he's got it on his website, and let me see what was, I thought I had that. It must have been in my phone. But anyway, Thomas has got this happening. He's taking orders, and then we're going to social distance and meet in a designated location. And I guess I'll do a signing, but it's very private. So I'm very curious about this. Studios booth. Wish you had your stuff out there this month. You truly are. Thank you, Joel. That's really sweet of you to say. But I'm not traveling right now. I'd have to fly. I don't want to fly. I flew one time, and California at the time that I flew was not the epicenter. So yeah, I gotta chill. As much as I'd love to see you, I want to see all of you guys. I miss you so much. All of you and your talent, you know. You did props on Flintstones. John knocked me over coming through the door. Yeah. He is amazing. John Goodman is amazing. And one of the things that we love him in is Barton Fink. If you haven't seen that movie, it's twisted. But we loved him in that. And we talked to his wife while working on the Flintstones. She came to visit, and she said she was terrified when he's doing the scene where he's walking through fire. But if you haven't seen it, John Goodman is one of the most versatile actors today, and he's so much fun to watch. And it's one of my favorite movies is Trumbo, because I love Cranston. But Trumbo is amazing. And in it, the King brothers, well, one of them is represented by John Goodman, and he's brilliant. He's just brilliant. So I love watching him. So you're right. Hi, Terry, says David Lewis. Hi, David Lewis. My friend Ed Gale was cast and ready to play Baby Sinclair. He was going to walk. No luck. He got the call a few days before saying the show was over. Too sad. Ed has been Howard the Duck, Chucky, and even Birdie in the McDonald's TV spots. Good for him. Ed Gale, congratulations. We probably know each other, actually. There's a very good chance. I'm not as good with names. I'd like to say I would love to be better at names than I am, but faces I rarely forget. And then it takes time for me to kind of merge it into where I've seen you before, which is kind of funny. But congratulations to him, David. I hope he continues to do that stuff if that's what he wants to do. JC is me on YouTube. Thank you, JC. Tell your YouTubers to smash the like button, subscribe, and click the bell like all YouTubers do. Oh, is that how I do it? Say smash? Why do you say smash, Joseph? Old person. Because I've heard smash. Smash that button. Why do you say that? Does anybody know why this is important? I'll do it. But I'm curious. I can't help but be curious. Because they do. They say smash that like button and subscribe and ring that little bell so that you too can get the videos when they come hot out of the oven. No, they don't say that, do they? Nah, I'm being silly. But yeah, thank you, Joseph. That is really so nice of you to share that. I am definitely grateful. Yeah. Have you worked with or know any Korean puppeteers? My wife and adopted son are Korean, and I would like to give him role models in the industry. I'm sure there are. Google, I would imagine that Koreans, as well as, and I'm not grouping you, okay? Just not grouping you. But I do know that I worked with a Korean team when I was doing Bunraku. You know Bunraku? That's what the chickens are like. The foster farm chickens, when they walk, we do the same style. Thank you, Rick Lazzarini, and his amazing building skills of him and his team at the character shop. But he took my original chicken designs and then he made them have feet and legs. And then we attached them to our bodies. We're all in chroma green and we will make the chickens walk. This is where I see a lot more Korean, Chinese, Japanese, Asian puppeteers, because it's such an interesting art form. It's a full body puppet performance, and usually you're in black and you perform it. But and I'm not saying that they don't do this. I'm sure they're out there. I just haven't met a lot of but I have several that are that have, you know. So look at Bunraku, because you don't have to be Chinese or Japanese to understand Bunraku. You know what I mean? You just have to like Bunraku, which is creating a puppet that, in fact, my mentor, Pat Breimer, created a puppet for Sherry Lewis. I'll never forget this. Sherry Lewis did a dance and she had puppets on either side of her. And the puppets were attached to her, as I understand it. If I remember correctly, they were attached to her maybe hand. So if she did hands, their hands went. But I know the feet, when she did her dance, kicks and stuff, they did the same. And it was that there was poles attached to her shoes and their feet. And then she was this 3 people thing. So when you get into stuff like that, it's really creative and awesome. And that's where, you know, when you see puppeteers of different cultures, they don't necessarily all do hand puppets. They do all kinds. Okay. Because I can't remember the team that did the spider that crawls up the wall that's like the size of a building, or the little girl. I mean, Google little girl walks down the town. What were they, Russian or something? Just amazing. Like a team of 40 puppeteers making this little girl walk down the street, and she's like 26 feet tall or something crazy. So, you know, there's lots of role models out there. I'm sure you can find them. And if not, you let your kids know. I'm happy to help them puppeteer, and they can be the first. But thank you for the question. I really appreciate it, John. Indeed, indeed. Indeed, indeed. I hope that helped. Maybe not, but I hope it did. Also, share. Yeah. Smash that button and share. I'm getting the dialogue. Smash that subscribe button and share this video. This one might be a little large to share, but if you want to. Sharon says she lives close if I want help with my stop motion. Yes, Sharon, I appreciate that. And maybe after we are done with this pandemic, we are not letting anyone inside the house because of the condition of my husband, with exception of 2 of my team. And I just can't even tell you the precautions we go through. It's insane, because I got to protect my husband. So when I came back from my trip, my one-time flying, I flew in November, and my one-time flying, I isolated for 14 days away from my husband. I really didn't get to hug, kiss, or cuddle him for a full month, full 30 days. And this is because I wanted him protected, because I had been in an environment with lots of people. They all wore masks on Delta. And if you're going to fly Delta. I've said that before. I don't know what the statistics say, and I have not flown. I can't. London's locked down. A lot of Europe is locked down. They don't want you moving around and mingling, because we're trying to get a handle on this thing, aren't we? So yeah, but Sharon, I'll remember that. And you too. When things start loosening up, it would be fun for all of us to do that. That would be fun to collaborate on stop motion. Hi, Linda Rolls. I will see you tomorrow. What did you say? Evening or daytime? I think you said evening for the call. So please don't miss it. Very important. She bought ghosts. Joel Christopher Payne, I call and help you with the tickling, tockling, LOL. Okay. Yeah, we can have a session. If you can help me understand that it's not silly dances. Actually, what was it I saw that somebody did that was not silly dances and goofy behavior? It's the first time I saw it, and it was really fascinating. So I know it's out there. I just don't get it right now. But thank you, Joel. I would like that. And I get to talk to you as well. How's it going? Surprise. I finally made it to your live. Nice to hear your voice. Nice to see you, Linda. And then you, Zoom was next, isn't it? And you are a Zoomer because of bingo. So I have no worries about Zoom and you because, you know, Deanna telling me to have a hot plate so my tea is always hot is joyful. Yeah, it's good to see you. Thank you for joining me today, Linda. I love you. Sharon says, I bought a Lego Disney castle if you want to borrow it. You know what I have? I have, and I'm going to do, ooh, you just gave me an idea, Sharon. I have a couple of new Lego pieces. I have to be careful because I have work to do. And on Sunday, I want to do Lego. But if I'm working with my husband, you know, then we don't want to be doing Lego when we should be spending time with family, hence Family Day. And if you're out there with your spouse and you feel like you shouldn't have to schedule it, he or she should just spend time with you. Believe me, schedule it if you're both busy people. There's nothing wrong with putting it on the calendar. There's nothing degrading about putting it on the calendar. Putting on the calendar is respect, and every Sunday we do it. So next Sunday will be me on the Beretta Brothers talking about Baby Sinclair. So my husband is sweet enough that we'll do a little something Saturday. We'll have Family Day before Beretta Brothers broadcast, after Beretta Brothers broadcast, and then Saturday I will make up some of that time in the morning so that we have a full day. But we're always working. If I have to, when I was doing appearances on the weekends, I would try to give him extra days so that we always had a day, and vice versa, because one day in 7 is always good to spend with your family, like focused on it, which is why, that's so good, which is why I don't answer my phone much on. So if you're trying to reach me on Sunday, you may not, because that's my day with my husband. Masks and distancing. Okay, cool. Do you have like COVID police that are kind of watching out for you guys? I would imagine you are, because I can't imagine that Disney, what is it? Disney Springs? And I always call it Downtown Disney, which is here. But I would imagine that Disney is really taking care of you guys well, because they need to. We are separated from people, roped off, all outdoors. We don't get close. Yeah, it's too bad, huh? Doesn't it make you kind of sad that you got to go, hello, here I am signing it. Here's my picture. Yeah, it's just, guys, it's coming to an end. I really believe that. So just hang in there, will you? And congratulations, Joel. I'm excited for you. Bonnie says she wants to know why they say smash too. See, you ask a question and it helps others as well. Bonnie, you're a love. Thank you for saying that. They all seem to say smash. It says smashy. Joseph, we got to get to the root of this. Actually, I'll ask my husband too. I'm older too and don't know why. See, we're having a fun discussion on why they say smash that button, you know? Because you don't want to hit your computer too hard. You know, it's a good little computer. You don't want to do that, do you? After COVID, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. We just want to take care of each other. You know, we just want everyone to be safe, and that's me. Try for morning. Thank you. I'm excited for that. And so on and so forth. Well, guys, look at what I did. Over 2 hours. Those of you who have stuck with me, you are rock stars. And those of you who haven't, continue to post in the comments and talk to me about how my YouTube might work. I think doing other channels might be very, very cool. And that's been a couple of suggestions, at least for the trainings. It should be something different, many people have said. But it might be good to do an entire channel, which is a title for the questions, or these honed down into little sound bites. And it might be called my soundbite section, We'll see. So all of you, I love you. Do something nice for somebody else. Let's just get to these other things. Have a great day, says Joseph. Same to you. And Bonnie says these always make my day better. And that's why I do it. Plain and simple, I could be sculpting, but during the pandemic, I think you need a happy voice that talks about something other than what's going on in reality, Betty Davis once said, people go to the movies to escape. If they wanted reality, they could go outside. And she's absolutely right, isn't she? We have a lot of reality hitting us in the face. Even over on the weekend, people will say, how do you stay so upbeat? The family was asking me this yesterday, and I said, I don't watch the news on the weekend. I do watch the news Monday, Wednesday, and Friday because I want to hear from my governor and I want to hear from my health people, because we are in the middle of, we are the epicenter. So I kind of want to know, how are we doing? Are we going lower? Are we going higher? What are the mandates? It just helps me keep in the know. So I do listen to the news 3 times, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay. But weekend, just don't. And it's really weird because some of the really huge stuff can happen on the weekend, can't it? Like I turned on today and found out this arrest, impeachment, all these words being thrown out. And I was like, what happened? So I'll catch up this week on reality. But Betty Davis is right. I don't want to watch reality in films, especially right now. I've got so much hitting me that I'm affected really strongly. I mentioned the Chicago 7. There's a sequence in the Chicago 7 that is just appalling. And it affected me so much, more than I think normal. And I was kind of shaking afterwards when I saw it. And it's because of what's happening in our real world. So if you're someone who wants to have a step away from reality, this is what I'm working to do. I am going to continue to stay safe. And you notice I asked Joel. Joel and I are both high-end artists. And so we did a lot of appearances. Often we might be side by side in cases, but now that's not happening. So he's kind of groundbreaking right now doing this show in January. And of course, I want to know how it goes, because he's a lot like me, except for I sculpt, he paints. But, we're all artists, So I'm going to say, are you going to be safe? What made you do it? I would be nervous. And he's always been very forthcoming on how he feels. So that's why I ask you guys, and I thank you guys for joining me. I really, really love you guys. I'm so grateful. I'm really blessed by all of you talking to me about YouTube, talking to me about TikTok, having patience with me, helping me to say, yes, it's fun to watch you yap, but it's really neat to see pictures that accompany with it. So I started to put those in, and that's all your fault. And I thank you for it. So I love you. I will see you Friday. Do me a favor and think of some questions to ask me, okay? For the Ask Me Anything. And then message me on Facebook or email me, Terri@terrihardin.com. And or Leo Holzer. If you know Leo and you're on Facebook @Leo Holzer, go give them to him, and we'll have a lot of fun questions. I go long, a lot of times on those. Okay. All right. Hugs and kisses to you guys. Stay safe. Be well. It's Monday. Watch out. Mondays are stinkers. And I will talk to you soon. Bye for now. I had to push the other button. Button number 2.